On today's show, we're going to take a log from the timber and turn it into a wood stove mantle. Alright guys, I got my chainsaw strapped to my four-wheeler, and I am going to go on the hunt for my fireplace mantle. There are a couple oak trees that I know I have options. Got my tape measure, and I'm going to go see if either of them will work. I think it's probably dried up enough that if I get something cut, I can get it out of there and get it cut to size on my chainsaw mill. So let's go see if we can't find one. Plenty of poison ivy in here. But let's go see if this is big enough. So this is a big oak tree that fell down, and out there where I trimmed it out of the lane, it was definitely still solid. So I need something about 7.5 feet. It's gonna be close. We just gotta find out how far back it's solid. I mean, that feels pretty solid there. So I'm gonna get the chainsaw and I'm gonna cut it and see how solid it is right here to see whether I can use this. Alright guys, so this is definitely going to work. Look at that. Not rotted, maybe a little rot right here. But that's solid, that's still kind of wet. So we are going to definitely be able to get a mantle out of this. And it's nice and straight. I should actually measure to see if I can get it out of one of these. When I originally went down to find a log, my intentions were to do an 8x8 or 8x10 mantle. But then as I started cutting this tree up, one of the arms off the main trunk looked big enough and the knots looked kind of cool, so I decided to do a live edge mantle. So this is the real first test for my frame of my chainsaw mill. For any of those who haven't kept up with my channel, I have a playlist on making a chainsaw mill. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. But this is the first time that I've set a really big log on it, and it handled it no problem. Alright guys, I am ready to cut this. I got this all blocked in here, leveled the way I want it. The only thing I gotta do is level my bar. Alright, so now we're gonna rotate it and cut the back square. We're thinking we're probably gonna do like a live edge front. So we'll leave this in the bottom. I'll just take and kind of clean this up. If I use a wire brush, it'll look really cool. So, I mean, it left a nice level plane. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate it, and then I'll get it all braced and we'll cut the back. So right here, I'm just making sure the log sits the way I want it, so when my saw goes through it, I will be left with somewhat of an equal surface area on the top. The way it sat, the left side would have only had like 5 or 6 inches, and then the right side would have had 9. So I had to lift the right side up to kind of tilt the log to get it the way I wanted. Alright, so since I have this sitting up here nice and level, this is the back that's going to go into the wall. So since I have it up here, I'm going to go ahead and score my line with a pencil all the way across and get my holes drilled for my hangers, how this is going to hang. So if you remember, I wanted the top about 4 inches above where those 2 pieces of Versetta stone meet. So I'm just going to take the square, put my pencil at 4 inches and run it down and mark this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the end of this on this hole, so I know that's where my first hole is. And then I'm going to transfer marks onto my level for the rest of them. Alright, so I did a couple things in there, the mantle. I held the end of my level in the center of where the first hole needs to be, the first bracket. And then I marked the other locations on my level. So I'm using this as a storyboard, just a way to transfer my measurements accurately so I don't mess up and accidentally, you know, screw a number up. So I know the overall dimension is 88 inches of the fireplace. The mantle is 78, so that's 10 inch difference. So that means this is gonna sit in 5 inches on each side. The second thing I did was I measured from the left side to my first hole, which was 15 5/8 to the center of the hole. So you can do one of things. You can subtract 15 5/8, subtract 5 from that, you have 10 5/8, so you can measure 10 5/8, make your first mark, or you can overhang your tape measure 5 inches and then just make your first mark at 15 5/8. And now all I have to do is take my storyboard, line it up. I put a X on this end so I knew I started from this end. So I have that to the center, and then I just got to come and transfer my marks. So now I have all my hole locations marked. Now I just got to get my drill bit. It's 3/4 inch black pipe that I'm using. So I'm just going to get an overall dimension. I think it's like 1 inch, so I'll cut these holes like 1 1/4 inches something, and then they'll slide in nice and easy. So these holes are 7 inches deep, and I started drilling them with Forstner bit, which I love using, but I couldn't find an extension that would accept 3/8, so I had to use a spade bit to finish out the last couple inches of the hole. And that definitely didn't work as good as the Forstner bit, but I got it done. But my holes in this mantle are 7 inches deep, so that black pipe that I attached to the stone wall, those are 9 inches, and then they will extend into the mantle 7. So I just used a pretty stiff wire brush to get all the debris and, you know, mold and stuff like that out of these grooves. Worked pretty good. And then the other thing I used was a sanding pad on my grinder. And this was a 60 grit. And I used that to hit some of these harder spots, kind of sand the top down. I kind of rounded over the edges with it just to make it look nice. But I think this thing's gonna be pretty sweet, man. So this is 3/4 inch black pipe. I used floor bases screwed into studs with 3-inch screws. You can check that video out in the wood stove playlist where I put up the Versetta stone. But these are extremely strong. This mantle weighs 160 pounds. I'm 185. So if there is any doubt that these will hold it, I'm 185 pounds and I just did some pull-ups on one of those. So this spread out on all four, it should be plenty strong. It's solid. Yeah.
Watch out, Mo. Coming through.
Just give me that. Now we can get under it like this. You gotta come back. Oh, you're right.
Now that's gotta be a sturdy.
I'll drop these in there. See, now that can't pull out. So I'll measure what this is and I'll get it so that this sits down flush. All right, guys, so this is all finished. I just got these purlin nails. I drilled a hole down through the pipe. If you need to get them out, I countersunk them so you can't even see them. That'll keep this from being able to be pulled off. I don't know why it would get pulled off, but who knows? I got kids. Maybe my kid will climb up here when I'm not here. Who knows? So just an extra safety measure to put a couple nails in each side to keep this from sliding off. If you get them off, you can just pick that up or take a magnet and pull it out. So it's just basically like a pin, and it's countersunk down in there. So got one on each end, and now this can't come off. So, but it sits pretty nice and tight to the wall. Looks pretty good. All right, so that's gonna be a wrap for the making of this mantle for this wood stove wall. I think it turned out pretty awesome. This was my first choice for decoration.
What's that?
And this was Emily's first choice for decoration. But together, they go pretty good.
Yeah. We'll have to get some special stuff.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out some more of our videos. We really appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you on the next video.